Yes sir, 3 bags full sir, left, right. This video is called The Army is a Cult. We hear a lot of talk about religious cults, and there are many religious cults, but the army is in a league of its own when it comes to brainwashing cults, in my opinion, and it does so at a much bigger scale. The military is a cult, the army also a cult. The military army trains people to kill, to murder, to destroy. So therefore its business is also that of the satanic, of the Antichrist, is it not? And it's all about killing or training and preparing people to kill, which of course goes directly against thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not kill another man. I mean, all you have to do is look at the badges, the military symbols, and it works exactly like any other brainwashing cult. It works to the same blueprint. In fact, it may have created the blueprint. I've always felt that many of the more extreme or weird religious cults are governmental experiments, governmental social science experiments, but that's for another video. Now, your typical cult will target a susceptible individual, usually someone who is emotionally vulnerable or is poor and has no money. Then they isolate them away from society, look to separate an individual away from family and friends in order to isolate them and indoctrinate them and initiate them into their cult, brainwash them. And the military is exactly the same. The methods the army use is brainwashing to a T. First of all, they go usually to deprived areas to recruit. They will recruit via deceptive propaganda. You know, their promises of adventure, of heroism. You've seen the adverts and how you could become part of a higher cause. You're defending freedom. You know it's a load of crap. Then after the recruit falls for that and you're in, you are isolated from the outside world. You're not allowed to leave the base. You're not allowed to leave the army barracks, and any contact with family or friends is forbidden except as a reward from your superiors. Then we have the psychological conditioning. Basic training has nothing to do with preparing you for combat. It's all about eradicating any sense of self-morality or individuality you may have through constant psychological abuse. They call this square bashing. You remember Full Metal Jacket, don't you? This is about removing your soul and turning you into a machine that jumps when it's barked at. It's breaking down a person's identity. Cults try to change your personality. To do this, they have to make you feel unsure about who you are. They want to break you down and then build you back up. They are molding you into what they want. All of this so you are conditioned to obey orders without thought and to base your entire identity and sense of self-worth on your position within the group, as well as viewing yourself superior to outsiders as well. That's another point. Any kind of dissent or doing anything that is not what you have been ordered to do is severely punished. Questioning orders or failing to show proper respect to your masters will get you in trouble and possibly fired, which is not like getting fired in a normal job. In the US Army, they have something called dishonorable discharge, which by the way carries the same legal weight as a felony conviction, and it can stop you from getting unemployment benefit in the future and other things. This is in the USA, of course. The USA military is one of the most cult-like in the world, and in my opinion, it is also satanic, a cult of the Antichrist. Here we see this guy, Michael Aquino. Look at all of his decorations, or whatever they're called. And here is General Flynn, who appears at Reawaken America. You know, the QAnon Trump guy. Look at all of his decorations, the same. This is the guy who was reading out and getting the crowd to repeat and recite an incantation for the 7 rays of light, a Lucifer Trust, Theosophical Society, New Age incantation. And the crowd who were responding and repeating what he was saying, they were thinking it was a Christian thing.
Well, we will not fear to speak. We will be the instrument of your will. Whatever it is.
I will not fear to speak, and I will be the instrument of God's will, whatever it is.
In your name. And the name of your legions.
Here I am, so help me God, in the name of Archangel Michael and his legions.
We are freeborn. And we shall remain freeborn.
I am freeborn, and I shall remain freeborn.
And we shall not be enslaved by any foe, within or without.
And I shall not be enslaved by any foe within or without.
Now let's go back to Michael Aquino. This guy, who is dead now, he died in 2020. Now he was a lieutenant colonel. He was head of the psychological operations for the US Army. He's been in everything. I mean, he's a graduate of the Industrial College of the Armed Forces, National Defense University, Defense Intelligence College, Defense Intelligence Agency, Foreign Service Institute, Department of State, US Army Special Warfare Center, Special Forces Green Beret, Psychological Operations, Civil Affairs, Foreign Area Officer, US Army Command and General Staff College, US Army Intelligence School, and US Army Space Institute. He's got loads and loads and loads of medals. He was very high up in the military. He's also, it says here, part of the Clan Campbell, one of the largest and most powerful of the Highland clans as well. And while he was operating at this very, very, very high level in the US military as an expert on psychological operations, he also established a satanic religion, a satanic initiation order, a satanic cult called the Temple of Set. This is the political scientist, yeah, the psychological warfare expert for the US military. Before that, he was also a high-ranking member of Anton LaVey's Church of Satan, and he set up the Temple of Set as an alternative to the Church of Satan. The Temple of Set was, he said, created to invoke Satan. He believed Satan's real name was Set, and much like other occult practices, there were 6 degrees to initiate the member. And much of the concept of this cult was based on Aleister Crowley once again. And it was, you know, black magic rituals and all sorts. There's tons of weird, creepy stuff you could go into regarding this. And I'm not going to go into it. But the point is, this high-up military, highly decorated CIA expert on psychological warfare, he also set up a satanic cult, which is still going today, the Temple of Set. Is there really any difference between a religious cult and the military? Well, in my opinion, there's no difference. In fact, it's far, far worse, as it's a cult all about training people to kill.